Hello and welcome back. My name's Reb and we are going to be looking at my visual journal for the month. Life has been lifing, so yeah. But I have managed to keep up with my daily journal, though right now I am like a day behind. But that's okay. It's been kind of a hectic month or so, but we're just going to take a look inside and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so, gosh, this seems so long ago already. Starting out strong, we went on a little vacation. We went to a barbecue fest that my friend's boyfriend was, I don't know, not competing. I don't know if I'd say competing, but working in, which was Koi Barbecue. It was delicious. I did get to have a giant rib, and so did Orion, which is this thing right here.
Take a bite.
Later on, we just grilled dogs. We ended up staying at an Airbnb, just all, like a little complex of Airbnbs, which was really fun. The kids did arts and crafts. Orion is obsessed with bugs right now, so he went for a bug hunt. And it was just an all-around awesome time. Next day, we went to a park, did a little train ride. The kids pretty much entertained themselves almost entirely by playing in the dirt. Orion's always been like that, but he pulled in his little friend, and they were both obsessed with the dirt. So yeah. Next day, I think this is probably one of my favorite spreads in the book. We kind of all went off on our own. Me and my boyfriend and Orion went to the dam that was nearby just to kind of check it out. And we just so happened to be there at the same time as this guy and his actual wolf, like a full-blood timber wolf. The wolf's name was Einar. He was very, very, very sweet, let us pet on him. He even, the owner, said if we howled, Einar would howl with us. And sure enough, absolutely did happen. I will pop in a video because you guys have to see it. It's so freaking cool.
Wait, it gets better.
So we got to hang out with a timber wolf named Einar, and it was freaking amazing. Orion looked so small compared to this timber wolf. It was wild. We went for a hike in that same place. We saw this tree. I don't know what kind of tree it was. I probably should seek it or whatever. But it was covered in butterflies. I don't know, hundreds of butterflies. It was insane. And then we walked around the property and my son almost peed on my friend. He's learning how to potty train. And at this point he's potty trained, but he was kind of still learning a little bit, and yeah, almost peed on my friend. That was pretty funny. And then we finished the night with savory s'mores, which if you don't know what that is, you replace the marshmallow with Baby Bell or Baby Brie and melt it and put it on some baguette with, prosciutto or jelly or something. Anyways, delicious. Absolutely delicious. Next day we went home. It was just a long drive, so not a whole lot going on. I unfortunately cannot draw in the car or anything like that, so this is all I got that day. We just came home, saw our pupper, and crashed out. The next day was a different kind of crash out. I don't know if the feeling that when you get back from vacation and are confronted with just life in general. Well, that, had to clean, still prepping for Zine Fest, just a lot going on. And then, general Toddler meltdown sent me spiraling. Next day, not much better, still had so much to do. And then I was also like helping other people. And I don't know, I overextended myself, I feel like. And that's kind of where all of this feeling came from. The next day, I was having a fun time with my cricket. And then also, my son was feeling sick, probably from vacation. Day after that, I finally finished my little vending machine. It took me a while because, I don't know, the cricket was giving me so much trouble. But finally got it worked out. And then I realized that I had hit 700 subscribers. So I decided that I would take myself on a little treat yourself mission to the coffee shop / art store. I put myself a little side note here because after, I don't know, 20 or so years of going to the same coffee shop all the time, I decided that I would go somewhere different because I'd been a little bit frustrated with my local coffee shop, really not just with this one person who, I guess let me just say, I'm not like a coffee connoisseur. I like nice coffee, we get our beans ground or whatever, or sometimes we grind them ourselves, so that we can have like nice-ish coffee, like nothing super fancy, but not just like Folgers, And for whatever bizarre reason, the guy at this coffee shop, he's worked there for at least a decade. Whenever I get my coffee to get ground, I say for pour over, and every fucking time he's like, "What's that? I don't know what that is." And I just am like, you know what pour over is. Don't act like you don't know what pour over is. So in classic avoidance mode, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to a different coffee shop because I do not want to deal with that man. I'm having a good day. I don't want him to ruin it. So I went to a different coffee shop. So I got this drink called Texas Sun, and it was like straight up 10 out of 10. It was so delicious. It was like jasmine tea with like a grapefruit, like fizzy something or other. And then it had guava cream on top. Freaking delicious. Anyways, I picked up some cool art supplies, which I'm very excited about. And I made a video about those actually already. So check that out. I'll put a little link. Anyways, tangent over. Don't be afraid to try a new coffee shop. Next day was a fall festival that I went to. It was like kind of cold, but like in a nice sort of way. Actually, the weather was basically perfect. I had some delicious food. I made a little paper or a corn husk doll. They had some interactive sculptures, which were pretty neat. And I think the highlight was this Oreo flavored churro, which was pretty delicious. Day after that was a work from home day. So I was kind of intermixing working from home and working on Zine Fest. Next day, cleaning, just a regular kind of stuff. My son was being super cute because he had gotten all the little snacks that came with my vending machine, like little pretend snacks, and turned his little play kitchen into basically a restaurant. So it was really, really cute. I'll pop in a little video so you can see because it's adorable. What you got, sir?
These tools.
Those tools? Okay.
And
Are there any snacks here?
yeah, I got these stuff and these little things. Please.
You're gonna have to tell me about what you have or show me or something.
Oh, here's a menu.
Oh, thank you. That's helpful.
Here.
I feel like having something a little bit salty.
Oh,
How about some popcorn?
okay. Going right up.
Did you blow
your
on
popcorn.
it? Did you blow on it?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you, sir. Day after that, we went to an ice cream store. I don't remember why. I feel like there was a reason that we went to the ice cream store, but I don't remember. But it was so funny because my son was having a decision crisis on like what flavor he would have. And then he ate the entire ice cream cone, like all of it, every single bite. And the like energy level soared and then absolute crash out. It was horrifying. It was a giant mistake on my part, but he had such a good time eating that ice cream that who can deny him? A couple more like Zine Fest prep stuff. I ended up sawing these like rainbow pencils in half for one of my zines, which was kind of fun. Next day was the Steamroller X event, where all of the prints that we made during Rock and Rollin' Prints were put up so that, you know, people could see them in a gallery. They're actually still up right now. And recently I found out that they will be traveling, so more info on that later. November 14th was day before Zine Fest, so I was just kind of making a checklist, making sure I had everything that I needed. And then November 15th, which is kind of here, was Zine Fest. And I had a lot of fun with this page because I turned it into a little tiny zine. But this was basically everything that happened at the Zine Festival. We loaded up. There was like a gazillion tables. We set everything up. And then, you know, people just like really loved the little vending machine that I made. I made a whole video about Zine Fest, so you can check it out over here. And then I came home to my son in a little fort watching Ponyo. So he was having a good time. Next day, I went out for coffee and art supplies because I was like, I did the Zine Fest thing. And that was fun, but it was also hard, so I deserve a treat. I picked up some more ink and a water-soluble pencil, or so I thought. I ended up actually getting a non-water-soluble one and then going back and getting the water-soluble one. Forgot entirely about my son's homework, so we did that right before bed and had a great time. We had to disguise a turkey as something else so that he wouldn't get eaten, and Orion decided that he wanted to make the turkey into a lion. So next day was, I think it was a Monday. Did some video editing. I was working on this Pashad box. More on that later. And then, you know, Orion was just kind of alongside painting with me and stuff. We were having a good time. Next day, I was having a day. I don't know. We did go to Goodwill and I did find some cool shoes. And Orion, of course, found some toys as per usual. Day after that, I did have a bunch of plans, but all of those plans pretty much got canceled because Orion wasn't feeling good, which, you know, is life. But we did go and get haircuts, which did make me feel a little bit better. I put my roof rack on my car. There was a lot of cursing because it was very like fiddly, but finally got them on and feeling much better because now I can pop my paddleboard on my car again. Next day, I was playing around with some of the art supplies that I'd gotten at the store, one of which was the neon glass tip pen, which was really fun. And Orion came home, put on Ponyo, and he was like into it. We all love Ghibli here, so I'm not surprised. Next day, I was feeling super tired, probably sick, and Orion was in like full blast, like monkey mode / destructo mode. So it was a lot. The next day, I was working, and Orion ended up going to a birthday party. So I was feeling like pretty bummed that I was missing that. And then on top of that, I had to deal with some dumbass at work. So, yeah. Day after that, for no reason whatsoever, I ended up going out to the coffee shop because I just wanted to get away. I thought about going to the art store, but honestly, it was like, no, you don't need any more stuff. So I just went and got food and a coffee and brought my sketchbook and did some sketching. I actually got so much sketching done that day. I don't know. I was just like really into it. I like basically planned almost my entire December of Birds in December, which is Char's thing. I'll link her channel here. Orion, we made tacos and he was into it. He ate like 3 tacos. He ate more tacos than I ate, which is crazy. Next day was just like cleaning and stuff. I don't ask me why. Ended up just like randomly switching throughout the month to just gouache. I don't know. I think I was just like bored of like the drawing part of it. And you know what? This is my, daily journal, so who cares? So I switched to gouache for some reason, and yeah, I had fun with it. The day after that, we went to the beach. Actually met up with Olinda, who was traveling for Thanksgiving, but stopped in Houston. We went to the beach for a little while. Like, it was pretty. It was like sunsetty, and then it got dark, but it was just like a nice like beach day. We went out on the pier and just like chatted while the kids like played, and it was just like a really easy day, which is exactly honestly what I needed. Day after that was Thanksgiving-ish. When you have like a partner and multiple families, and all that, you end up splitting up your Thanksgiving into multiple days sometimes. So Thanksgiving number 1 was on Wednesday. We went over to my mother-in-law's house, and she's got this like cool garden and horses and a dog that absolutely adores Orion. They had such a good time. So it was nice. This was my contribution. I made some deviled eggs. Next day was like actual Thanksgiving, which meant that I needed to do a whole bunch of cooking. It was a little bit like chaos and ended up being even more chaotic later, but I won't get into that. But the actual Thanksgiving was really fun. The kids had a food fight, which was funny, but Orion was sitting with me, so he did not participate in said food fight because he is an angel. And nobody say anything otherwise. Food was delicious. I made this butternut squash that I make, or butternut squash soup that I make every year. That came out really good. And yeah, basically ate my weight in that. Day after that was straight back to work. But all I could do was think about how much I wanted to fill my watercolor palette. So I did that later that day. My son, for whatever bizarre reason, woke up at like 4 o'clock in the morning wanting tea. I don't know. Lemon tea. So there was that. Day after that, Linda swung back by Houston on her way back to her house. So we hung out at the museum for a little while. Saw a couple things. I got to sketch with my friend, which was nice. And just had a generally good time. The next day, more time at the museum. Met up with a different friend who has a son that is same age as Orion, and basically just kind of followed them around as they explored the museum, and it was very cute. They're like little best buds, even though they don't get to see each other that often. It's like whenever they do, it's like right back to but being best buds, which is very fun. And I think that's it. Yeah. So for my 4 faves, the funniest thing that happened was definitely Orion almost peeing on my friend. I'm sure he probably finds it less funny than I do. The best thing that I ate or cooked would have to be those savory s'mores. Oh my god. And honorable mention for that Texas Sun drink. So good. Best thing watched or read. I'm going to have to go with Ponyo, even though I've seen it a million times. But it was just so fun watching Orion watch it for the first time. So that's my choice for that one. And then favorite memory, which was pretty hard because there was a lot going on with like the holidays and just in general. But I think favorite memory is going to have to be Howling with the Timberwolf Einar. I think that was such a little special experience. And not to end this video on a sad note, but we recently found out that Einar has sadly passed away. He was very old, so not completely unexpected, but still sad. But we're really kind of honored that we got to have that little like memory with him before he passed. So yeah. So those are my 4 favorites. I'm gonna try to continue doing the double spreads for next month as much as I can so that I can try to like finish-ish this book for the year. But we'll see. It's funny how one more page could be so much, you know? I'm also considering maybe like journaling a little bit in this one. We will see. So anyways, that is my daily journal for the month of November. And I will catch you guys at the end of the month for December's journal. Until then, have a great week, and I will catch you guys on the next video.